5 months after his 17th birthday, Erryon Knighton would rise through the ranks and qualify for the 2021 Tokyo Olympic Games, becoming the youngest 200-meter sprinter in track history to ever qualify for the Olympics. When he turned 18 in 2022, he redefined American sprinting, becoming the second fastest American ever over the 200 meters, shattering benchmarks previously set by Tyson Gay and Justin Gatlin, and unequivocally announcing his breakout as the next generational athlete in U.S. sprinting. As the world record holder in the 200 meters for both the under 18 and under 20 junior age categories, it felt inevitable, almost preordained, that he would one day ascend to the top and become the world record holder at the senior level. Well, that's what all predictions pointed to, but tragedy would strike in March of 2024 when Knighton tested positive for the prohibited substance trenbolone. In his defense, he maintained that the substance entered his body after consuming meat purchased from a bakery in Florida, a claim that would ignite debate across the track community. In the 12 months that followed, Knighton was permitted to continue competing, as the case lingered in uncertainty. Eventually, his suspension was lifted yet again, but finally, a definitive conclusion was reached. Knighton would be forced to serve a 4-year sanction, barring him from all track and field competition. Nicknamed the next Usain Bolt, Knighton was still a teenager when he began producing times that defied logic for someone his age. In May of 2021, he would break Usain Bolt's junior record of 20.13 when he ran the 200 meters in an astonishing 20.11 seconds. In the months that followed, he would lower his own record 6 separate times, removing any doubt that this was a fluke and cementing the belief that he was the man destined to fill Usain Bolt's shoes as the world's next dominant sprinter. Within just 4 months of his 2021 season, the 17-year-old accomplished what few could even imagine, as he became the only under-18 athlete in history to run the 200 meters in under 20 seconds. Not even Gout, Noah Lyles, or Usain Bolt have achieved this feat. It is indeed fair enough to state that Erryon Knighton was the greatest 200-meter prodigy of all time. Most legendary sprinters take 5 or more competitive years to build careers, others even longer. Knighton's rise happened in about 2 competitive years. His first competitive year was in 2019. He started off strong in the 400 and 200 events and rarely competed in 100-meter races in his first season. His first official 200 came at the Jacksonville High School Outdoors in May of 2019, where he finished second, a solid introduction to elite competition. The following meets came at the AAU Club Championships, where Knighton asserted dominance, finishing first through the heats, semifinals, and final, closing out a magnificent first season in track and field. Knighton was initially more interested in football, believing it held his future, but he soon realized that a career in track would be more sustainable in the long run. Still, he held on to aspirations of returning to football sometime in the future, keeping that door open as his sprinting career evolved. In 2020, the star really came to light. For the whole of that season, he went unbeaten throughout 16 events. 6 of those were in the 200. He made his return to the AAU Junior Olympics in Florida and defended his title in the 200 while grabbing first position in the 100. His best mark in the 200 came during those finals, where he ran 20.33, setting a personal best and by then, the second fastest 200 ever by an under-18 athlete.
This is Erryon Knighton up the home stretch. Erryon Knighton. Keep your eye on the clock. Knighton. Erryon Knighton, 20:33. That is a new national record and a new U.S. #1.
And the 16-year-old had made his name recognized while earning respect from the track community. He's 16 and almost at sub-20. We really are getting a new wave of athletic monsters. Holy cow, this man is a god. If he is 16 now and continues this until he's a senior in high school, what will his time be? The people noticed his massive talent, and so did Adidas, who would sign him as their brand ambassador at just 16 years old. Knighton was at the top of his track career. This massive achievements and opportunities led him to turn down numerous Division I college football scholarships to focus on his professional track career. But he was a man on a mission, because in 2021, he finally made it happen. Finally made it to the global championships, the Olympics. But this was a hard-earned opportunity. It might have taken the shortest time to get here, but he had to challenge the best to make it through the U.S. Olympic trials. He beat Noah Lyles and Fred Kerley in the first heat, beat Noah Lyles for a second time in heat 2 of the semifinals, but placed third in the final behind Noah and Bednarek. The 17-year-old had made it, secured his Olympic ticket with a superb 19.84 seconds, a personal best, which still stands to date as the fastest under 18 time in the 200. This is ridiculous, running a 19.88 at 17. What the f***? Where did Knighton even come from? How come nobody was talking about him until now? The Olympics brought depth and a whole range of talent and experience, and the 17-year-old Knighton ran a superb 19.93 in the final. Not the fastest time of his season, but a respectable 4th position in his first Olympics that proved he had what it takes to share lanes with the best 200-meter runners.
Knighton, Fambula, Camel, Florial, Murray. Erryon Knighton of Adidas, the Olympian. Erryon Knighton, Dorian Campbell. Here comes Joseph Fambula of Florida.
That was the fastest he had ever run a 200, a personal best that placed him 4th in the all-time top 10 list in 2022. Just like that, he's the 4th fastest in this event, only behind Usain Bolt, Johan Blake, and Michael Johnson. Yeah, Usain Bolt's 200-meter record is going down within 4 years. These remarks held weight at that time. It seemed very possible. He had bettered his previous record by an astounding 35 milliseconds, a huge leap that led many to believe that he would replicate it again, but that never really happened. He would, however, register incredible times like a 19.69 in June, and would close the 2022 season with a 4th-place finish in the Diamond League final. Despite his massive times, teenage Knighton had not gained a medal since his debut in international competition, but he would come back in 2023 with his eyes set upon the World Championships in Budapest. He had the times to show that he was an A-list athlete, and he needed a medal to back it up.
But he's pulling away. It's a slingshot around the bend. Hughes running well in the middle. Knighton's trying to go with him. Watch the clock. It's gold.
2023, final race Budapest, 200 meters final. Finally, a silver medal. A well-deserved 2nd place behind Noah Lyles, who was proving to be his biggest obstacle. By the end of 2023, the hype from track community had cooled off for many who thought Knighton would be the next Usain Bolt. That season, he didn't better his previous marks. For the first time in his career, he didn't seem like the unstoppable prodigy he once was. 2024 started off sour. Just before the season started, his tests came back positive for prohibited substances trenbolone. When interviewed by USADA on April 26th, Knighton explained that he believed the positive test resulted from food contamination. He stated that he had consumed oxtail purchased from Moreno Bakery on March 22nd, and later clarified that he also ate leftovers from the same meal on March 23rd. An independent arbitration investigator visited the restaurant, obtained a sample of the oxtail, collected the purchase receipt, and confirmed that the shipment had arrived on March 20th. Packaging showed the meat originated from a processing facility in Nicaragua. The oxtail sample was then forwarded to a laboratory for analysis, and the results confirmed the presence of trenbolone in the meat, proving Knighton's story was legit throughout this case. However, under the rules of elite sport, believable is not enough. Under the World Anti-Doping Code, anti-doping violations operate on strict liability. That means intent does not matter. The moment a prohibited substance is found in an athlete's body, a violation is established. According to the Court of Arbitration, they claimed the science didn't add up. Even if Knighton had eaten the meat exactly as he described, experts argued that the dosage in the meat was too small to plausibly explain the positive test from his urine. It took more than a year from March of 2024 for WADA to finally suspend Knighton for 4 years, barring him from any sort of competition. In their response dated 12th of September 2025, they claimed that World Athletics appealed against the first instance decision of a U.S. tribunal that found Mr. Knighton had established that his positive sample resulted from the consumption of contaminated oxtail meat and should therefore benefit from a finding of no fault or negligence for his anti-doping rule violation. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, accepted and chose not to appeal the U.S. tribunal's finding of meat contamination, despite the evidence from its experts that this was implausible. But it was WADA's firm and clear view, and that of World Athletics, that Mr. Knighton had failed to establish meat contamination as the source. During its appeal to Court of Arbitration for Sport, WADA brought forward several experts who were able to demonstrate to the panel that meat contamination was not a plausible explanation for how the prohibited substance was found to be in the athlete's system. WADA reviews all anti-doping decisions taken by signatories to the World Anti-Doping Code to ensure they are in line with the rules, and the agency exercises its right of appeal when warranted. WADA is pleased with the outcome of this case and will continue to appeal cases to the Court of Arbitration when it feels justice has not been served. From a neutral point of view, it's hard not to feel sympathy for Knighton. If we consider that his story was indeed truthful, then he suffered the worst possible outcome. But then if you are WADA, you can't be lenient on one athlete, because that would mean opening the door for every future athlete to claim the same defense. And if that line is crossed, the entire anti-doping system loses its authority. As of 2025, Knighton's results showed no clear improvement compared to the peak performances he produced as a teenager. Maybe it's all for the best, and just maybe Knighton will return in 2029, at 25 years of age, an age when many sprinters are in their prime.